Okay, 11 a.m. Here we are. My name is Cantor Lizzie Shammash. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad to see all of you in your beautiful little boxes. I know there's really more of you than your boxes out there. I'm located in Philadelphia. It's getting colder here. With respect to my Lenape ancestors who are originally on this land, we dedicate class today. So a few announcements from IJS. Really exciting. This week on the Daily Sit, we have one special teacher all week long, Monday through Friday, and an extended session. Rabbi Sam Feinsmith will be teaching on meditation and prayer. I hope you can avail yourselves of it. 12:30 to 1:30, 45 minutes of teaching and 15 minutes of Q&A as usual. So a little extended. Hope that you can make it. As well, please take a look at our annual Taurus study, our year-long program. Our text study this year is led by Rabbi Dr. Aaron Lieb Smokler, and Adi so kindly is putting link in the chat to learn more about the Taurus study for this year and link for purchasing that. As well, I want to point out to you, we have our next 30-day prayer project intensive on Hitbodedut, Conversations with God, with Rabbi David Jaffe, who's so special. And that begins November 14th. So please do check that out. Links will be there for you in the chat after class as well. So today, please have a blanket, and we're going to start there. And 2 blocks if you've got, and a strap, particularly if your shoulders are tight. You're going to want to have your strap handy. And if you have none of these, you can make do, you can change. We're going to start on the floor on our backs, and I want to say just as a matter of course, and especially if you're new to this space, this is your practice. This is your time. You made it here, you win. If you just got here but you feel exhausted and you want to spend the entire practice for yourself today in Shavasana, in relaxation, please do it. I will bring you through thoughts, ideas, poses, but ultimately it's always your practice. So please go at your own pace. You can always come out of something early. You can always stay in something longer. And you can always do something entirely different. I want you to know again and again that you have that freedom. So here we are. It's the 26th of the month of Cheshvan. Can't believe it. We announced Kislev already in the synagogue this past Shabbat. And it's Parshat Toldot. We will look at that in a moment. Let's do a little bit of warming up. Maybe 5 minutes, and then we are going to have a little bit of look at the Torah portion and see how we can engage Torah in a fully embodied manner today as we do. I want you to take your blanket. So this is probably, the normal setting, as it were. Take it and open it one fold. We're going to make a jelly roll. Smooth it out, iron it out. You want it to be smooth. And take it along the long way and start to roll. Make it tight. Right? You don't want it to be lumpy and you don't want it to be uneven. So make it tight so that it is even, kind of like it's a little bolster. And place it about 1/3 of the way down your mat horizontally. We're going to give a little bit of opening to the chest to start our class. A little bit of expansion to the rib cage, the heart, the lungs, the respiratory system. Let me show you first what I'm getting at, and then you'll do it. I don't know how well you can see it from video, but what I'm trying to do is really take my shoulder blades, and particularly these big trapezius muscles, which they often attack, which attach at the base of the neck and really come all the way down to quite far down the spine and the thoracic. They're big muscles, and we want to take them down the back, kind of pin them and draw them down so we can get some relief from a lot of this, how we spend our lives, shoulders to ears. In that pursuit, what you're going to do in a minute is you're going to take the top of the shoulder to the blanket, Curl your elbows around the blanket, and this is really the piece of it that's so great. Your head goes towards the top of the mat, and those trapezius muscles of your skin go down toward your tailbone. And oh, it feels so good. Then you lay yourself down roughly at the bottom tip, or at least bottom third of the shoulder blades, okay? So I don't know that you could really see that, but I'm really drawing the skin down the back. So let's do that. Let's do that. Instructions again. As we do this together, lay down, tops of the shoulders right over that jelly roll. Take the elbows and curl them around the back of the blanket, and then draw the skin down the back as the head goes toward the top of the mat. Blanket is at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, or across the lower third of the shoulder blades, letting the heart expand and open in the front. Armpits open, upper chest open. And then with the arms, you can do what is comfortable. Okay, you might want the arms completely extended overhead, palms facing towards the ceiling. You might want scarecrow position, as we call it, with the elbows out to the sides bent, palms facing up towards the ceiling. You may be more comfortable with the arms just folded here on your chest. You decide, just see where the arms naturally want to go. Keep the eyes open and soft. We want to stay alert, really cultivate an open presence here as we begin our practice. And see if with each successive exhale, you can allow the body to sink a little bit. The breath should be smooth. We're aiming for it to be smooth. So if you're catching your breath or holding your breath in some way, it probably means that the blanket, the arch is too high. There's too much roll on the blanket. So you can take a little roll off the blanket, unroll it a little bit, or you can completely take it out if arching in any way is not going to be good for you today. Now let the body drop into the mat, into the floor. Really take in the aid of this passive back bend, making some expanse between each vertebra, particularly right where it's located, right? Making more space for the discs. And then that opening can emanate both down and up the spine. Right? The message can be easily taken by the body down the spine and up the spine. And then as you're ready, we're going to move so that the blanket's a little bit lower, maybe just a few inches. Find a comfortable spot. Couple inches down so that your head is again further towards the top of the mat and the blanket stays where it is. Just finding the next spot. See where your arms want to be. This is such a nice antidote for sitting, and particularly sitting at the computer for much of the day. So I'm always a fan of offering to you a 5-minute practice, and this is a good one right here. Just to take the blanket, find a few spots. And let the chest and the rib cage open. Feel free to stay if you're super comfortable and something is starting to undo. lock. Or if you want, come down even a little further, maybe to the very base of the rib cage. That's where the diaphragm is attached in the back. That can be kind of a tight spot and a good one to have the roll against. Notice what your breath is doing. Can you lengthen the breath, both inhale and exhale? Let that nishmat chayim, that soul of all living being, all life force, enter the body, enter the nostrils, leave the body, exit the nostrils. And as you're ready, slowly, slowly, roll to one side. And then come back to the floor. Lay flat torso, knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. And just allow your spine to receive this information, to neutralize. And feel free either to stay right here for a few minutes while I share some teaching, or to come up to a seated position if that feels more comfortable for you. Wherever you are, just take your time. And if you're lying in constructive rest position, just continue to monitor the breath and allow the skeleton to drop to the floor. Little more with each successive exhale. So here we are in Parshat Toldot, which is really the story of Jacob and Esau, their birth, the birthright, the blessings at the end of Isaac's life that they don't receive. Now I want to look at a little snapshot in the middle of the portion. Chapter 26, roughly verses 18 through 24. So there's a famine, and as has happened to Abraham, again with Isaac, he takes his family and he moves to Gerar to help find water. And we return to the presence of wells and the theme of wellspring, right? Last week we talked about Eliezer coming to find a wife for Isaac and meeting Rebecca at the well and her bringing water, and the idea of wellspring as source, right? And some space in the abdomen and the side waist, physical wellspring. Where do we draw from? So these wells that Abraham's servants had previously dug when there had been famine before, the Philistines filled them in with dirt, stopped them up. So now Isaac's servants had to recreate these wells. So they start to dig in the Wadi of Gerar. Wadi is the Arabic word, and it's used in the Torah for spring. And as they are digging, there's fighting between them and between the herdsmen of the town of Gerar. And so they name the spring Esek, which means contention. Ki hit asku imo. I can't see the vowels very well without my glasses. So the first well, they name contention. They go to dig a second well, and still there's fighting. They name that second well Sitna, which means hostility. And then they come to dig the third well. And the third well, there was no quarreling. They did not quarrel over it. And so they called it Rehovot, or expanses. Rechovot. Vayomer ki ata hirchiv Adonai lanu, ufarinu va'aretz. And they said, now at last Adonai has granted us ample space to increase in the land. So rechovot, expanses, same word as the modern day Hebrew for street, rechov, an expanse. In the Psalms, anani v'merchavya, the merchav, the expanse. It's all the same root, resh, chet, bet. So 3 wells, Esek, contention, Sitna, hostility, Rechovot, expanses. And God appears to Isaac right after this, and he says, I'm the God of your father Abraham, fear not, al tira, ki itcha anochi, because I'm with you, and I'll bless you and increase your offspring for the sake of my servant Abraham. Okay, so this begs the question, which wells do we access? Which wells do we draw from? Do we draw from the well of contention, the well of hostility, right? The well of anger, fear, resentments, gossip, lashon hara, allowing things to sort of grow and tap those wells? Or do we draw from the well of rechovot, of expanses? How do we incline ourselves and our habits in our body, in our mind, in our heart? How do we choose? What choice? We often think we don't have a choice, right? But as we know, it's a practice, and we continue to practice and come back again and again to draw from the well. So which well? And we can really make this yoga practice about drawing sustenance from an expansive well, a full well, right? Lengthening, opening, making space for all the feelings that are coming up, moving, arising. And also know that sometimes we have the intention for expansion in our practice, but the body is unwilling, and that's okay too. So how do we then make for expansive room in our minds? To just hold this space for the possibility. And lastly, I want to say that the Sfat Emet says that Rechovot, that third well, it connects us to an attitude, a consciousness that is Shabbat-like, right? The first 2 wells are more the chomer, the material of the weekday, of everything we do all week in our experiences. But that third well, Rechovot, has a consciousness of Shabbat. Right, that we work in our practice to just bring a little bit of ta'am, a little bit of flavor and taste of that Shabbat, rest from any aggression, the expansiveness of Shabbat. We want to bring it into our practice. So with that in mind, we're going to look a little bit to some heart opening and expansion today. All right, so if you're lying down, take your time to make your way up to seated. And take your blanket now back to that basic fold, and then fold it one more time in half this way. Okay? Normally I mirror you so that you can face me and do together with me, but I'm not going to mirror you for this. So it's going to look like I'm going to the left when you're going to the right, because this one's a little confusing, and I don't want to end up confusing you. So just wanted to give you that heads up. Now, you're going to come to the right of the blanket, and you're going to sit your left buttock onto the blanket. And this is very specific, right? We want to do so left sitting bone, left buttock, right one is off, because we want to be able to let it drop down. Okay, now left foot underneath, right foot on top, and very specifically, the ankle of the right foot rests in the arch of the left foot. Almost gives it like a little bit of a massage. Okay, so right foot on top of left foot, and right ankle to left arch. Sit up tall, inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to take a twist to the left. Take the right hand behind you as you go. You can even hold the back of the blanket is nice because it can help you move into this twist. Right hand to the left knee or outer left knee, so you can Press a little bit here. Now, very importantly, the inhale, lengthen the spine, tail and crown of the head in opposite directions. And as we exhale, begin to work into that spinning. Now you can come in and out a little bit so that it's not too aggressive, kind of like the drum of a washing machine, a little bit in and out if you like. What's really beautiful about this pose, and this is called the twist of, it's called sage, the sage Bharad Vajrasana is the name of the pose. It's the sage's twist. So what's really nice about this twist is we can, it's a little bit of back bend. We're twisting and also lifting from the sternum, and we can really draw those right back ribs forward as we twist. Feel your way into this one. Feel, what's my rib cage doing? What am I aware of, tapped into? And then as you're ready, come on out and we'll shift to the other side. So right buttock is on the blanket. Left foot is on top of the right, and it's the left ankle resting into the right arch of the foot, right? As you've moved the feet to the side. So right ankle sitting on the left inner arch. Inhale and lengthen the spine, and exhale, begin to work into your twist. Right hand behind you grabbing the blanket. Left hand to the right knee or outer leg. Right? So that little bit of push-pull. Inhale, lift the spine. Lift the center of the heart, lift the sternum. Exhale, let those ribs spin. And particularly those left lower ribs, let them draw forward. Don't jam them forward or push them forward. Let them draw forward. Mostly we're looking for expansion through length. And then as you're ready, release. Beautiful. You're going to take your 2 blocks to either side of the mat. And we're going to come to a low lunge with the right knee, the right foot stepping forward and the left knee back. You might want some a blanket for padding for under your left knee. Go for it. Slide that left knee back a little so that you're not right on the top of the kneecap there. Your blocks can be at any height. There's 3 heights, the small, the medium, the large here. Shorter, medium, the high, tower height. So let them be at whatever height is comfortable for you. Draw the tailbone down and let the left thigh, the hips sink forward. And usually I'm coming with wanting a lot of length in the torso, but today what I really want is to drape the torso over the front thigh. Let it be weighted and let it draw you down. So give some extra help, stretch for the front of the left thigh and the hip flexor. Draw the navel in towards the spine. So the sense of rechovot that we're looking to cultivate here is in the left hip. Left front hip, left outer hip, left thigh. You might notice, is it more a relationship of esek or sitna, of hostility or contention? That's okay. You know, we use these hips a lot, and they carry a lot. They carry a lot physically, they carry a lot emotionally. We can put in a deposit of rechovot for today. And then we're going to switch sides. So take your time. Right knee comes back. Left foot comes forward. And we're going to drop down. And you might want to slide that right knee back. So again, so that you're not right on the kneecap. Just let the front body be heavy. Let the torso be heavy. But at the same time, don't be loosey-goosey through the hips, right? We want to draw the navel in. We want to lengthen the tailbone towards the heel. Make space. What do we find present in the right hip? How's it different from the left? And which qualities, which well qualities does the right hip carry? And then as you're ready, release. We're going to come to stand in any way that you like. Take your time. Making your way to mountain pose. So feet hip width apart, nice stable mountain, stable base here. Just find the four corners of the feet, inner and outer heels, mound of the big toe over to the mound of the little toe. Press the feet down evenly. And then inhale the arms out and up. Now it could be a nice wide V if the shoulders are tight. Make sure you can see the arms all the way to the fingertips in your peripheral vision. If you can't, they're a little too far back. You don't want to strain the shoulders. So it might be a wide V, it might be in a little closer. In any case, palms face each other. And you really just want to avoid hiking up the shoulders toward your ears. So bottom of the shoulder blades, tips of the shoulder blades, draw them down, palms facing each other. Find that steady mountain pose. And then as you're ready, release. Okay. We're going to take the hands to the low back as if you're putting your hands in jeans pockets. So palms facing forward, fingertips down. Move the flesh of the buttocks down toward the heels. Just draw it down, draw the heels of the hands down. Let that be an instruction for the tailbone to draw down. And let me be clear, I'm not asking you to make a tuck. I'm not asking you to flatten. Definitely not. We want to maintain that curve. But we want length. We want length. We want a lot of room for the sacrum. Okay? So, length for the tailbone. Inhale, draw the elbows toward each other and allow that to open the armpits, lift the heart, lift up, gaze up. Just a mini back bend here. Really grounded from that mountain pose onto your feet. Lifting the heart, making space not just in the back through each vertebra, but making a lot of space and opening for the front body. So an even opening and lift as we come back. Rechovot, find some expansion. And then come on back. You can take the arms in the same way, or if it's comfortable for you, turn them so that the fingertips are now pointing up. That draws the shoulders, the elbows a little more together, the shoulder blades a little more together. Gives you kind of a running start if it's not too much on your wrists, okay? Again, lengthen through the tailbone. Inhale, fill the chest open, draw those elbows toward each other, lift the heart, take the gaze up if it's comfortable. Find a rootedness through the legs. And then as you're ready, releasing. Good. This time we're going to fold over. If it's contraindicated for you to have your head below your heart, stick with what we just did and do it again. We're either going to take the hands and clasp them behind the back, Or you're going to grab the strap. If your shoulders feel really tight, you're going to want more space. So either clasp hands or take the strap. And if you have the strap, the arms are externally rotated. The palms are facing forward, right? This way we're closing the shoulder. This way we're opening the shoulder. So palms facing forward as you hold the strap. All right. Let the feet be hip distance apart or even a little bit wider. Whether you're clasping hands or you have the strap, inhale and lengthen the arms back, knuckles, fingertips, strap. Lift the heart. And then exhale, bend the knees, begin to fold forward, kind of coming to a sort of skier position. On your way to folding a little further forward, let the head go, arms coming up overhead. Can keep a nice bend on those knees. And then pause when you get to your edge. Find a place that feels comfortable to stay for 30 seconds or so. Breathing, noticing what's going on in the outer leg, the outer hip, the low back, the belly, the neck and head. You can shake your head yes and no a little. Let it be easy. Draw those shoulder blades toward each other. And then as you're ready, press into the feet. Take the journey smoothly up. Inhale to come all the way up. And then exhale, release. Now here's the place. Don't fidget. Just release the strap. Pause. Soften the eyes. Just a soft stance. Feel the feels. Feel the reverberation of the pose. This is where we feel the effects of the medicine. Just let that pose infuse and heal us. What do you notice? Keep the breath easy, smooth, long. And then as you're ready, release. Take the strap and put it to the side. We're going to come down to the floor, prone position on the belly. And for just a moment, make a little pillow for your head with your hands. Taking the elbows out to the side, stack the hands one on the other. Just lay the forehead down. Feet hip width apart. Toes pointing straight back. If this is agitating to your low back, you might want to have a blanket or folded blanket under your hips to help reduce any arch in the low back. Let's pause here and breathe and feel the belly moving against the mat. And belly coming out, pressing into the mat on the inhale. And drawing back toward the spine on the exhale. Okay, we're going to now take those hands in line with the chest, fingertips pointing forward. Draw those elbows in toward the body, shoulder blades toward each other, and again, down the back, long swan neck. Point your toes. Just lift one leg at a time, lengthen it a little bit. Make space. Rechovot, make length. Lengthen through the tailbone, draw the navel to the spine. Inhale, send the heart forward, chest forward. Head comes up a little bit. Baby cobra, not much weight at all on your hands. Really let this be a mid-back situation. Breathe. Even Smooth breaths. And then as you're ready, exhale and come on down. And we'll go again. Fingertips pointing forward, palms spread, elbows draw in, lengthen the tailbone, draw the navel in and up, draw the low belly in and up. And come on up. And if you want to press into the hands and begin to come up a little bit higher, press up into a fuller cobra, go for it. Elbows stay in. And as you're ready, lower down. Now we are going to come on up once again to a Sphinx position onto the forearms, and the elbows can come a little more forward. You can make it a little lower, less arch there in the low back, or you can draw the elbows in below the shoulders, come a little closer in for a greater arch. Right? So depending on the flexibility of your lower spine, this might feel like a resting pose for some and a very active pose for others. Good. At any rate, the low belly lifts in and up, the chest pulls forward. And as you're ready, slowly lower down. Okay, so the next place we are going to go is the bow pose. You're going to either take hold of the right ankle with your right hand, or that is not your option. You're going to take the strap around the right ankle and just work on drawing closer, right? So strap or hand, two options there. Both excellent. Begin to draw the ankle, the heel, toward the right buttock. Getting a little stretch, again, opening for the right thigh. And then release, and we're going to do the same thing on the left. Bend the left knee. Either take hold of the outer ankle with your left hand, or take the strap. And send that left knee away. Again, continue to protect the low back. Have a sense that the core is really drawing in, and especially that the buttocks are easy. They might become engaged at certain points, but you're not clenching the buttocks. You're really allowing for a lot of space, that third well, rechovot, in the sacrum, in the low back. Okay, so you may want to repeat just one side and then the other, or if you feel ready for full bow, you'll come with me. We'll bend both knees. We'll take hold either with the hands to the outside of the ankles, or again with the strap around both ankles. Good. Set yourself up, lengthening the tailbone, feeling those hip points drawing toward the floor. Begin to send the ankles forward into the hands. Allow the ankles pressing to the hands. Allow the front body to begin to lift. Keep the breath smooth. And then you can continue to press the tops of the feet, the ankles forward towards the hands, and even begin to lift up through the toes toward the ceiling. But go easy on that one. Really, let's try to open into length more than height. Find that length, the heart moving forward. Feeling some heat build. Finding some expanse. And as you're ready, slowly lowering down. Let the hips rock a little bit side to side. If you would like, bend the knees and let the feet do a little windshield wiper side to side. And then as you're ready, flip it over onto your back. Grab a block or your blanket. We're going to press the feet into the floor, lift the hips, and place a block under the low back. If that's too high, you're going to use a blanket. And our aim here is not a full bridge pose, as much as a counter stretch for bow to lengthen out the low back. So tailbone moves away from the head. Just let the lower belly, the whole abdomen, let all the abdominal organs settle to the back body. We did a lot of lifting up of the front body through all of these poses. Now just let the front body drop toward the back body. Front plane to the back plane. Cultivating this sense of the third well, rechovot. Expanse. For the torso, for the low back. Feel free to stay here a little longer if you're enjoying. If you like, press into the feet, lift the hips, remove the block, lower the spine vertebra by vertebra to the floor. You can keep the knees bent, or you can extend the legs long, or you might choose to make a little roll again from your blanket and place that under the knees or the thighs. As we come into a few minutes for final relaxation, let the body spread out. If you're wearing glasses, remove your glasses, turn the palms to face up. Lift up for a moment on your shoulders and draw your shoulder blades under you. Tuck them under like wings. Place your wings on your back. A few minutes, fully letting go. Let the body accept the practice, the work you've just done. Let the body accept it, begin to make sense of it, and integrate it. Your nervous system knows what to do. Few minutes of that expansive Shabbat consciousness, rechovot consciousness. Let be. Begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. You can make fists and scrunch the toes in, and then open the toes, open the palms, expand the fingertips. A nice yawn stretch. Make your way slowly over to one side. Fetal position. Pause there. Feel the breath inhabiting your body. Coming and going. And as you're ready, press up to a comfortable seat. We'll take a few final breaths together as we close our practice and begin to transition. And set a kavanah for this day or for this week through Parshat Toldot. May we remain cognizant of the three wells. The well of esek, contention. The well of sitna, of hostility. The well of rechovot, of expansions, expanses. And may we stay attentive in our actions, in our words, to which well we're drawing from. May we cultivate a greater sense of the well of rechovot, its possibilities as they flow from that wellspring into our lives, into our families, our communities, our world. As you're ready, taking a nice, deep, full inhale. And a full exhale. Allow the eyes to open. I wish you Shavua Tov. May it be a good week for you coming. Just a couple announcements. I'll share my email with you in the chat. I teach a 90-minute class, which is sort of an extended version of this Monday class. I teach it on Sundays from 9 to 10:30 Eastern Time. And if you're interested, it's a paid class. You can email me, shammash@gmail.com, and I'll put you on my weekly list. Would love to have you. And there's some people in Central Mountain and Pacific to whom I send the video. So don't let time zone be a barrier. I also want to let you know, if you're looking for yoga props, a place I love is called huggermugger.com. And we'll put that in the chat. And as well, if this practice has meant something to you, please consider a donation of any amount to IJS. You can make it in memory of someone that you love who has passed, in honor of an anniversary or a birthday, any kind of simcha, in honor of a teacher or a teaching or our community at large. But IJS always is really delighted to receive donations. These offerings are free every week, and it helps us sustain our offerings. So thank you all, and I'm here for another little bit or so to answer questions and also hear about how practice affected you today. Any chiddush, anything you want to, anything new or interesting that happened for you that you might want to share with the greater group. Feel free to use the hand raising function, which is on your bottom bar under reactions. Devora.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
That first pose, I forgot what you call it, kind of like hero pose with one butt off of one butt on, one butt off. The one that's off just lifts right up.
Right.
So is that what's supposed to happen? You're just giving a little support to or I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean, what we want to do is help it drop. You mean
Yours
what?
is, so when you have, let's say the right butt on the blanket and your left is on the floor, even when you tuck your legs under, the left is still on the floor?
Say, so wait a minute, which one is which? Right is on the blanket?
Matter, but one on, one off.
Yeah, it's not going to be to the, it doesn't go to the floor.
Okay,
It's still hovering above the floor. You're never going to get it to the floor. You're
okay,
not trying to get it to the floor. You're just letting it drop.
okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah, so
all.
if by up you meant off the floor, the answer is yes. It's always going to be off the floor.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Do you like that pose? I love that pose. It can be a
Uh,
little weird.
I like it. Well, I have a knee injury, so it doesn't work on one side, but it does work on the other, and I like it now that I know that I don't have to put my
No,
back.
no, yeah, thank you for clarifying that, Devorah. And also, when you sit in the chair
Huh?
and take hands to the chair and do this push pull,
Yes,
you're really getting very much the same action that happens in that pose, which is that, can you see my hand on my bottom ribs? It's
yes,
that piece of bottom rib that has to come forward. If I could put my hand on you, I would kind of carry your rib cage around. We don't get that as much in just a basic seated or lying twist in the same way. That's why
right.
that pose is really, I
It
think, a beauty.
it reminds me of the pose, this one where the
Yeah,
right, is that rib really comes forward.
right. Exactly
Yeah.
right. Yep.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, which is why we went on yesterday to do that
Yeah,
one.
that's right. That's
Next
right.
in the sequence, yeah.
Yeah.
Janet.
Okay. I had a question about the lunge, the low lunge that we did. Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can.
Okay. Where one knee is up and one knee is, and the other leg is extended. And you said, don't be right on the kneecap, extend it.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling the stretch, in the front thigh, but I felt it more in the opposite hip. I don't know what happened to my video. Yeah.
You
And I
felt it
don't know
more.
what I was.
What were you feeling in the hip? Do you remember?
Let me see.
Feeling cramped? Feeling.
Just pull in the left hip instead of, you said you were supposed to feel it in the right hip.
Yeah, I mean, if
If the
there's a
right leg is
discomfort.
back, right? If the
Yeah.
right leg is back,
Yeah, and you were feeling discomfort in the left hip.
yeah. Instead of
So another
uh-huh.
option where you're getting the same benefit is don't do it that way. Do like standing and just take the ankle
Okay.
and practice just this, drawing the knee back and the like the whole thigh back.
Okay. So the purpose was to actually stretch out the thigh, right? The front
Yeah.
thigh,
Yeah, it's mostly a quad stretch.
the thigh of that leg.
Yeah, a quad, hip flexor, the front of the hip. And also it kind of gets a
Mm-hmm.
little bit the IT band, the outer leg. So you just can do it in a different way because I don't want you to get crunched in that other leg. It's not the
Okay.
purpose, right? So let me make clear, we are not here to serve the poses. I think we forget that sometimes. The poses are here to serve us. It's just a tool to help us learn a thing, right? To help us learn a particular action. So if one pose is not achieving that, it doesn't mean we should make ourselves into I was going to say into a pretzel, which is sort of a funny yoga thing to say. We shouldn't get all bent out of shape, worried to get into that shape. We should just find another way to let the action serve us. That's really, really important. I think that when we learn that in our yoga, it's like, then the world can open. And it's a very big lesson for life. Very big. with very big implications. This isn't working for me. I don't have to bend myself into a pretzel to make this happen. I need to find a different way to achieve the aim, right? I hope that's helpful. Anyone else?
It was very helpful, Lizzie. Thank you so much. I came in today with a pounding heart, rapid breathing rate, slight lightheadedness, and I so needed to lengthen and restore my breath and calm. Thank you. So I can't even say thank you enough.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Great.
And if I can join you on Sundays, I would greatly appreciate any help you can give me.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. Thanks, Martina.
Ditto for me too. Ditto.
Okay. So for anyone who wants to join me on Sunday, please do me the favor, actually email me, and because that will prompt me. I can't always read all the chat and I don't want to forget anyone. So actually email me at ishamash@gmail.com. I'll put it in once more and I will add you to the list and you'll get email on Friday. Linda, and then Shelley.
I have to raise my hand.
When I was trying to do the bow, the strap kept falling down.
Falling down your shins.
Right.
Okay, so then your shins aren't pressing enough into the strap.
Okay.
Let me see. It is slightly awkward with the strap, but it does help you to get into the pose. Okay.
Mostly the left leg that it kept falling down.
Yeah, so really the whole thing depends on, just like if my hands were there, I have to press those shins into the strap and a little bit out, right? So it doesn't mine doesn't fall down. I'm not sure why. Can't get it to even do that. But if I widen a little, press back into the strap, and then also pull on the strap, Linda. Don't just let be with your hands, right? Because the whole thing is kind of happening together so that the strap is very taut. That should work. I'm gonna also investigate another alternative to this pose if the hands don't reach the ankles. That one is slightly awkward.
I can reach the right foot fine, but I can't reach the left foot.
Okay. All right, let's check back in on that one.
Okay.
Keep working with it a little bit. I hear your struggle. It's awkward. Okay, Shelley, and then Sarah, and then Gloria, and then I think that might be time.
I just wanted to say ditto also. It was a fabulous class, as always for me. I came in with some tightness in my chest and tightness in the back and my neck, and I felt very open. And when I lied there in stillness, I felt the pulsation of the working through me. And it just felt delightful and very restorative.
I'm so glad.
Thank you. I have one question about your yoga class also. I love your Sunday class as well, but it does conflict with my pickleball class. So
We don't want that.
I wanted to know if I paid for it, can I have you send it to me so I can do it later?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thanks.
Many people do that. Sure, no problem. Sarah.
Sarah might have to be our last one, just to
Here we
head.
are.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go quick. Thank you. It was wonderful.
How's your neck? How's your neck?
It's better. I was able to do every single pose.
Wow.
I even got both ankles. So in the bow, I was amazed that I could get myself into and out of every single pose. And I think it's the way you taught it. So,
Well, and also the way you executed it. So that's good. I want to say a couple
yeah,
things there. Be mindful with the rest of your day. You may want to
yeah,
just do some like lengthening of the neck. I always love to do this, just, taking my hands back here. You may want some icing. You may
yeah.
want some Advil, right? If things are really out. So you may need to lie down during the day. So be gentle with it.
Yeah.
Good.
When you said, look at where your hands are, they were always holding my head
Yeah, good, good,
on
good.
all the poses, except
Good.
for the strap. Yeah.
Good. I know Adi said the last one, but Gloria, if it's short, let's go for it.
Hello from an old yogi. I just wanted to say hello and see what everyone is doing. I will be 92 this year.
Yay!
I started teaching yoga in Milwaukee, first one in the 60s.
Wow.
You all.
Oh my God. Morashelanu, thank you. Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
When's your birthday?
November 9.
My dad is going to be 94 on the 10th, so we got a cluster there. Happy 92nd birthday, Gloria. Beautiful. We'll try to remember to wish you next week. Okay, everybody, take good care. Shavua Tov. Stay well.